Bay Area's news station. This is the KRON 4 Morning News.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our second live hour of KRON 4 News Weekend.
We're not doing worms. We are doing mushrooms. Believe it or not, or fungi. Believe it or not, this is a fungus, quite a fungus, and this could help save the world. We'll tell you how coming up on KRON 4 News Weekend. This is a fungus. Fungus get a bad rap, but in fact, our next guest is going to explain how fungus can save the world. He is Paul Stamets. He is a mycologist, or a mycologist, and he's going to be speaking today at the New Living Expo. And he's not only an expert on mushrooms, but he's also an inventor who is using mushrooms for some fascinating purposes. So right off the bat, let's start with one of your latest inventions. Believe it or not, this is going to someday be fungus.
Well, actually, I reinvented the cardboard box, and inside the flutes of the cardboard are hundreds of seeds of trees with mycorrhizal mushroom species, which are beneficial fungi that help the trees grow. So this is a shovel-ready solution to climate change, and you receive the box, and you tear it up, and you soak it, and a little forest springs up. You just need the space of 2 laptop computers for the first 2 years. Little baby trees come up, and then you plant it. And then when you plant it outside, you go to our homepage, and you register with your iPhone or your Droid the GPS coordinates, and, and then you can see the trees grow over time. So this is a multi-generational solution, and I've been doing this with my grandson, and kids get this. And my grandson said, Grandpa, why aren't all boxes and life boxes? So the advantage of this is it has a dispersal to individuals. So it helps them address climate change and creates a multi-generational connection, to their ancestors and then their descendants.
What a clever idea. And it's got some Pinus modicola in it, some Pinus rigida, some Glamis mosaic. It's all of these species are on the back here. So how long before the trees grow high enough for the actual fungus to grow? The
fungus actually grows immediately. Almost all plants immediately seek a fungal ally, because as soon as they germinate, they want to have strong protection against other parasitic fungi, so they have beneficial fungi that they ally with immediately, and it's part of their host defensive resistance against diseases.
Right. Okay, so lifeboxcompany.com. Lifeboxcompany.com. How much are you selling these for?
Actually, they're just marginally more expensive than a regular box. So that's the cool thing about it, is the price points are very, very competitive.
Okay. Now, notice the hat, a very dapper hat that Paul is wearing. It's made from fungus.
It's made from the amadou mushroom, which is a birch polypore, and this mushroom actually allowed for the portability of fire. Our ancestors came from Africa. We went into Europe. We discovered something new called winter. Oops. And if you couldn't keep fire alive, your clan would die. So this mushroom, you hollow it out, put embers of a fire inside, and allows for the portability of fire.
And it's not flammable on the outside, I guess.
But when you boil this mushroom, it delaminates into this fabric. And so this hat was actually made in Transylvania. And it's been made for hundreds of years. They made garments. And so it's actually quite warm, but highly flammable. Be around,
Thank you for warning us about
that. Can pop up. But this is an example of how much we knew about the utilitarian use of fungi hundreds of years ago.
The Transylvanians were onto something.
And so this is just the tip of a proverbial iceberg of knowledge. And my mission is to bring this knowledge back into the forefront of people's consciousness.
By the way, one of the interesting things, now, you got to figure fungus is one of the earliest forms of life on Earth.
That's right.
And you're using GPS technology to keep track of where you're planting these trees. Nice work on closing the circle there.
Thank you.
This is this is also a fungus. I mean, if you walk around the forest, sometimes you'll see these and not know what they are.
This is called the KRON mushroom. This actually is a rare species. It grows only in the old-growth forests of North America, Northern California, Oregon, Washington, and British Columbia. I've been working with the BioShield program of the U.S. Defense Department. We found very strong antiviral compounds present within this mushroom. And so I'm thankful to the U.S. government. They've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars helping my research. We have the largest culture collection of this fungus now in the world. We're trying to save it from extinction, and we're finding novel antiviral and antibacterial components within this mushroom which could mitigate disease vectors and viral pandemics.
Wow. So now, I'm sure you run into a certain amount of prejudice, like when you tell people, my hat is made out of fungus. Fungus get a bad rap. It's sort of like decay, rotting.
Well, we call it mycophobia, the irrational fear of fungi. And when something's very powerful but mysterious and unknown, people's reaction is to be afraid of it until they understand it. But the more you study the subject, it's like riding a bicycle or anything else, then you become more familiar with it and you realize, wow, this is actually very, very useful.
And they're tasty too if you pick the right ones. Sometimes they're just like chicken. Thank you very much. Solutions from the underground, how mushrooms can help save the world. Today, 1 o'clock at the New Living Expo with lots and lots of speakers there. Concourse Exhibition Center, newlivingexpo.com for more information. Thank you, Paul Stamets, a fun guy about fungi. Thank you for joining us. Okay. Marty, Isabel?
I've been admiring the hat.
Yeah, that's a great hat.
Don't light a flame.
No. Right, exactly. We know that.